We're back. Now, Rich, I interrupted you before we went to break. You were saying that MAD is not a prohibition organization.
That's correct. You know, the responsible use of alcohol by an adult is perfectly acceptable. And 08 legislation will really not impact upon a social drinker. And that's how we've been defeated in the past in the legislature, by the argument that, hey, you can't go out and have a beer with your pizza, you can't go out and have a glass of wine with your dinner, right. You're going to be arrested and convicted for DUI, and that's just not the situation. A 170-pound person would have to consume approximately 4 drinks within an hour to get up to that 08 level. And the American Medical Association and all the evidence indicates that you are impaired in your driving when you get up to the 08 level. So we just want to have the law catch up with the medical evidence.
Well, Don, let me ask you first about this. There's a proposal for electronic driver's licenses that would replace ignition keys and allow people, for people who've been convicted. Does it seem like a good idea to you? So you couldn't start your car if you were drinking?
I think that would be a good idea. If the machinery caught up to the technology, that would be fantastic. That would probably be a more safe means of preventing those who are impaired from driving in the first place, rather than putting them on the road and then severely punishing them afterwards.
Rich, do you like that?
I like that idea too, and this is the first time that we agreed on something in the entire interview. And no, it would be a good idea. It's kind of like the scientific answer to the DUI problem. It's an attempt to separate the drunk driver from his automobile.
How well has designated driver worked in reducing drunk driving?
I think it's worked wonderfully well. We actually work with taverns and bars and restaurants in our designated driver program. And there's many restaurants that will give out, you know, free soft drinks, or in some cases even a free meal if you have a designated driver. And that party is the responsible, sober party that takes charge of the automobile and drives everybody home safely. So I think it's a wonderful program, and it's something that MAD has sponsored and continues to sponsor.
Now, Don, I assume that you also support designating a driver.
Absolutely. In fact, I think if you were to look at the statistics for New Year's Eve, where the publicity goes out, have a designated driver, you would see that has become one of the slowest DUI arrest days or events now.
Good. Well,
because everybody knows, get a designated driver or stay in your hotel. It's really changed the way people behave on New Year's Eve. So that's a good program.
So, Rich, are we to believe, though, that there's no longer the kind of pressure at holiday parties to go ahead and drink? Because that certainly seems as if there remains that
Well, that's what we're concerned about, yes. We hope that the DUI issue continues to capture the attention of the public, that they employ designated drivers, that they think before they run a party, that they become a very responsible social host when they do sponsor a holiday party or a New Year's Eve party. And that's vital for organizations like MAD to remind the public in our public awareness programs that this is very important.
We get the impression that college remains a great place, a great bastion of reckless drinking. I don't know whether either of you have any ideas about how it is we can make drinking less attractive to young people in college who apparently still are boozing it up at those wild frat parties.
I think that's a social problem, frankly. And if you were to look back, wearing a lampshade and behaving foolishly, it would be considered gauche, even in a college fraternity. No one wants to look the fool anymore, and certainly looking the fool with alcohol is something that, from a college perspective, doesn't happen. But obviously, reaching out to those people, 18 to 21, who are consuming alcohol, would be very important.
So now, there are also ads we see in movie theaters for various alcoholic products. Now, there's a proposal to ban those ads. Any thoughts on this? Beer ads and the like that you see in the trailers prior to the film's beginning?
Well, you've seen kind of an opposite trend where Seagram's in particular has decided to lift its voluntary ban on advertising on television and the like. Now, many of the television industry has been very responsible and have refused those particular ads. But we're very concerned about advertising and the power of advertising as it puts this product out in the marketplace, particularly among children and teenagers. I think the Seagrams ad used dogs, as a matter of fact, as a symbol in their advertising presentation.
Well, we want to thank my guest, Rich Hackett, the former Director of Field Services for Mothers Against Drunk Driving, is now a volunteer for MAD and for Don Ramsell, an attorney in the law firm of Ramsell Associates in Wheaton. Thank you both for being my guests.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, dear and valued viewers, spending another Monday morning bit with us. Hope you have a very happy and healthy new year, and that you exercise caution, designate a driver, and be very safe out there. Thanks for watching. Shalom.